Hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Me, Medicine and Melodies Podcast, which I just launched today. I hope you all have seen the trailer episode and you all have got the basic concept, the idea and the motive behind this podcast. If still not, you can always go for it. And now let's begin our first episode. So as you can see the title of the episode is all about the science of happiness. What is the science of happiness? So in this episode, we will be unlocking the joy and the fulfillment. That is, we will be talking all about the happiness. So happiness is very, very important for all of us. The state, the mood, and the basic pleasantness all around in the atmosphere is so very much important for surviving, for talking, for doing the proper work, for even focusing, concentrating. We need peace, and that brings a lot of happiness. So we have to basically understand the science behind the happiness, and then we have to explore it, and then we need to cultivate it. You see, being happy is not a mood, it's a kind of a habit. You have to develop that habit. Got it? So, being happy, just write down the statement, is basically a habit. It's not a mood, it's not a circumstance, it's not like we say extempore situation. No, it doesn't depend on anything, right? So happiness means goodness, peace, and evenness all around with other people in the atmosphere, and no feeling of negativeness anywhere far away. That brings a state of happiness in the mind, in the heart. I'm talking in the mind also, yeah. So that is very important. So different components of happiness can be subjective well-being, good health, satisfaction and peace in life, and a kind of development of positive emotions. That is very important. So when you have a lot of positive emotions, you are not, even in your deepest core of your heart, having any negativity for any person, for yourself. No kind of inferiorism for yourself even. So that brings a lot of satisfaction, peace, and that equals to happiness, right? So that is a kind of a definition for happiness. I cannot put it into a kind of a standard definition, but that is how I define happiness. With the totality of all the components: health, mental well-being, satisfaction, positivity, optimism, and goodness all around, right? Okay, let's talk a little about the neuroscience of the happiness. Do you know anything about the neuroscience of the happiness? Like, I'm a medical doctor, right? And that is why I sometimes may use some medical terms, though not always, but neuroscience is very important. And that is the subject of a common layman also today. So whenever a person is happy, there are certain neurochemicals involved that are secreted from the brain. There are certain brain hormones involved that actually lead to that mood of happiness. So there are many brain activities going on, neural pathways are involved. All in all, in totality, contribute to the feeling of happiness and fulfillment, satiety, satisfaction. Okay? So that is all equals to the happiness. Now, with this, we come to the topic of psychology of happiness. No, I am really very poor in psychology, but this psychology of happiness, I have really studied about, worked about, and with my own experience, I can really give you some great insights about it. Okay? So there are many psychological theories which I really researched and read recently in detail. yes, related to the podcast topics also, but it was for my own general knowledge, information, and that I wanted to convey to you people also. Okay? So there are many theories involved which are related to the framework of the happiness. The first one is the hedonic treadmill. Now, what is this theory? Hedonic treadmill. That is, it is the basic attitude, the basic tendency of a human being to pursue one pleasure after the another. Why is it so? Why is there a tendency to pursue one pleasure after the another to fetch happiness? Because, see, after one happy moment, you are feeling wonderful in a place of a happy moment. But once the moment is over, then everything comes to the baseline very quickly. So, there's a tendency to pursue another moment of happiness. And that is like a vicious cycle. And that is the hedonic treadmill theory, right? So, in a way we can say, yes, that is a little bit truth. Not applicable on all the people, but that is, yes, that is a tendency. Once you are very happy, suppose you have a birthday celebration today, you are on the top of your mountain, on the top of the happiness mountain. What happens after the birthday is fully celebrated? Everybody goes back home, all your friends are there, you are opening your gifts, and then at the time of sleeping, it's all over. Everything comes to the baseline, right? And then another day begins after the birthday, and that is a normal day. So there is a tendency of kind of searching for happiness one after the other, because that moment, it's not a permanent moment, it's a kind of a temporary state of happiness, right? So that is the hedonic treadmill theory. Let's come to the another theory that I wanted to share with all of you. That was self-determination theory. Self-determination is related to the self-motivation and self-determination. Yes, that is related to totally self-motivation. That is, you are choosing happy ideas, thoughts, etc. all in the absence of external influences. Nobody is telling you to do so. Nobody is telling you to do so, and nobody is affecting you. Nobody is influencing you. You are not dependent upon anybody. You are independently self-motivated, self-determined, and happy. Right? So that is a theory of self-determination, optimism, happiness. Then we have another theory of positive psychology. Well, what is that theory? This is also related to optimism, and it contributes to the optimal functioning of people, groups, and institutions. It includes all the components: positive subjective experiences, positive individual traits, positive institutions. All in all, what does it refer to? It refers to the improvement in the quality of life. That is the basic goal behind this positive psychology. By being happy, by being optimist, by imbibing all the positive traits, what are you doing? You are actually improving the quality of life, right? So that is the thing. These are the three kind of theories I wanted to tell you. Now, I would talk about the different neurochemicals that are involved with the happiness. There are 4 hormones of the happiness. The 4th one is not so major, but the first 3 are the major ones. The first one is serotonin. Second is endorphins, then dopamine, and lastly, the least, as comparative to all the 3, the least one is oxytocin, though it is also considered as the 4th hormone, right? So let's talk about when and how to, when are they secreted and what actually influences them. Talking about serotonin, when you are kind to others, when you are kind to yourself, then there is involvement of serotonin. When you are spending time happily outdoors, then there is serotonin. When you are exercising, there is serotonin. When you are eating a well-balanced diet, there is serotonin, right? So these are the 4 things that are involved with the secretion of neurotransmitter like serotonin. Coming over to endorphins, when you are outdoors, when you are exercising, when you are meditating, and when you are laughing, then what neurotransmitter is involved? Endorphins. They are released, right? Then let's talk about dopamine. When is dopamine released? When you're kind to yourself, when you're kind to others, when you're having a wonderful deep sleep, when you are exercising, and when you're listening to music. Don't you feel happy? Suddenly your mood switches from one thought to the other. And what is the neurotransmitter involved? Definitely, it's dopamine. Talking about oxytocin, when you are experiencing love, affection, when you spend time with your loved ones, when your family members, when you share a laugh, when you listen to music, then the neurotransmitter involved is oxytocin. So what all is actually related to the mood of happiness or the state of happiness? A very strong, self-determined, positive mindset. The qualities of resilience, gratitude, social connections, they all promote happiness, right? Then there are many lifestyle factors: diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, your basic attitude in life. You remember? Your attitude determines your altitude in life, right? And that is the real truth. That's a very famous quotation that I'm quoting here, but everybody should keep this thing in their minds. Then there are many kind of self-care practices, self-care routines, self-care practices that one should actually involve in their lifestyles, which really help to pamper some healthy, hygienic habits. And overall, they support the state of happiness and well-being, and even feel good. You feel good, right? So there are many strategies for cultivating happiness, increasing satisfaction in life, like involving and including a lot of healthy habits, basic hygiene, cleanliness, and cleanliness involves everything, inner, outer, and even your surrounding atmosphere should be clean. That also promotes a lot of satisfaction and happiness. If your room is not clean, it will definitely make you a little kind of irritated and frustrated. So what you need to involve is a proper mindfulness, meditation. Gratitude in life is very important. Now we have heard about gratitude journals, but if you need to maintain one, that will really help you to be happy. Then you should always perform acts of kindness. Find purpose and meaning in life about everything. Now you have to actually find the perfect link between being healthy and also being happy. If you have healthy eating good food always affects your immune function positively, cardiovascular health and longevity. So that would really help in a real long-lasting happiness, satisfaction and growth in life. If you adopt practices to reduce anger, stress, ego problem, inflammation will be reduced and overall health will be promoted. So these practices and regular watchfulness, mindfulness are so important that they will bring a very long-lasting, true happiness in your life. There are many real-life success stories by changing the attitude in life and the basic lifestyle habits, healthy habits that have proven to change and improve the longevity and quality of life in many individuals. So you have to adopt these practices in your daily routines. But how would you do that? You have to be very mindful, watchful, vigilant enough, and you have to be very, very self-caring. There are definitely many challenges to happiness. Adverse situations, circumstances, poor health, financial crisis, setbacks in life, negative emotions. Your negative emotions are the biggest enemies of your happiness. So how do you have to fight with them? With resilience and with the coping strategies that I just told you. You always have to maintain optimism and positive outlook in life. Look for the opportunities, growth and development. So that's all about how to maintain and develop happiness in life. That is the science of happiness in life. So that I wanted to tell you. And always do work and measure your life at your own pace. Comparison is a thief of joy. That is another very famous quote which I would like to quote here. Because these small things, when you take care of and when you are really mindful about all these things, you can, with small and little things, pamper happiness and good moments and joyous moments in your life. That is how you will make your life full of honey for yourself and for the people surrounding you. See, taking care of yourself is very important, but as and when you adopt these practices, you are taking care of your family members and your relatives and people around you who are your loved ones. So in a way, you are helping yourself and you are helping others also. I hope you are finding this episode a real meaningful one. If you are, don't forget to hit the like button. So that is all from my end, and that is all I wanted to talk about related to the science of happiness today. So always encourage and involve and practice the happiness boosting practices that I just told you about. Find out what works for you, find out what doesn't work for you. Don't waste your time on things which don't suit you. I would just wish that all your days may be filled with joy and your heart with happiness. Until next time, keep seeking the science of happiness, right? So, with this wonderful statement, I will just sign off today's episode. Hope you all are happy, in a good mood with the ending statement of this episode. Leaving you all in a very happy, joyous, laughing and merry mood. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.